This is a quick overview of the Ruger LCR in .38 Special. The LCR has been my carry gun for about 8 months, and I will preface that by mentioning that I do occasionally rotate some other guns in, but about 80% of the time I have been carrying the LCR. The LCR is a 5-shot, double-action only snub-nosed revolver with an aluminum frame, polymer fire control housing, and a fluted stainless steel cylinder. It has a rubber Hogue Tamer grip. It weighs 13.5 ounces. This LCR, model number 5401, is rated to .38 Special plus P, but it can also be had in .357 Magnum, which is about 3.5 ounces heavier. The LCR is 6.5 inches long, with a 1.875-inch barrel, and it's 1.28 inches wide. To get a sense for the size of the LCR, we'll compare it to an M&P Shield, a very popular carry gun. As you can see, they're pretty close. We'll also put it up next to a Glock 19, another common carry gun. The sights on the LCR are very basic. It has a fixed rear sight and a pinned, ramped front sight with a white bar. The front sight is replaceable, and I see some people are running a fiber optic or the XS dot, but for me, this works fine. I believe the early versions of the LCR didn't have the white bar, which I could definitely see causing some issues, but I feel that I can pick up the sight picture pretty fast. When people talk about the LCR, they rave about the trigger, and I have to say that this trigger is excellent and totally worthy of the hype. I had a Smith & Wesson Airweight, a 442, and could just never adjust to the trigger pull on it after feeling the trigger on the LCR. It's super smooth for a double-action revolver. I went with the .38 Special model because I just don't have any interest in firing Magnum rounds out of a lightweight snub-nosed revolver, and since I purchased this with the intention of carrying it, I wanted to be able to practice extensively with the ammunition I would be carrying in it. There are a lot of different opinions on this. Some people say carry the Magnum rounds and train with a lightweight .38 Special, but that's just not where my head is at right now. I've actually been carrying a 110 grain Hornady Critical Defense, which is a lightweight, standard pressure load. Once I get a little more time in with a more powerful round, I'll probably move over to that. I've been experimenting with the Speer Gold Dot Short Barrel, which is a plus P round, and the 129 grain plus P round from Federal, which I've been carrying in my Speed 6. I've probably got about 800 rounds through the LCR, and the vast majority of them are standard pressure .38 Special loads. It's held up beautifully. It's easy to clean and maintain, and seems like it's going to be around a good long while. I found it to be practically accurate. Obviously, this is not a range gun, but once you get used to shooting it, it's plenty accurate enough for defensive use. The stock Hogue Tamer grip works for me. My pinky hangs off the end a bit, but I don't feel like it's a major hindrance. It seems quite a lot of people don't like this grip, either because of the ergonomics or the fact that it tends to grab clothing, but I haven't experienced problems in this regard. I also have fairly small hands, so the folks with larger hands may want to check out some different options. I've been carrying the LCR predominantly in this Tagua 4-in-1 leather holster, inside the waistband at about 4 or 5 o'clock, and occasionally in a DeSantis Nemesis pocket holster in a vest pocket. Both of these holsters will be discussed in a separate video. It carries exceptionally well. I'm not a big guy, and I'm also not a fan of dressing to the gun. I work retail, and am constantly around members of the public and in a relatively anti-gun area of the country. I just really want to avoid printing. I never have any issues concealing the LCR. Carrying at 4 o'clock inside the waistband with a slight forward cant really blends into the contour of my body and clothing. It's also just so lightweight that it is never a bother at all, and even when I have my t-shirt untucked and the LCR is up against bare skin, it's not uncomfortable. You probably noticed this rough spot on the frame. When I first got the LCR, I was still shooting snub-nosed revolvers with my support hand thumb on the bottom of the frame, similar to how many people shoot an autoloader, and I wanted to make sure that my thumb didn't get too close to the cylinder gap when I did, so I roughed this part up to get some traction. I have since corrected my revolver grip and learned to tuck my thumbs, so count that towards being a revolver noob. I was motivated to get the LCR because I was on the lookout for a compact, lightweight carry pistol that I would put on every morning, especially during warmer months, as well as for having on me during the day at the above-mentioned retail job, where concealing a larger weapon is just not an option. I've always loved revolvers. I love the history, the simple manual of arms, and the reliability of a well-made revolver. Ruger obviously is a trusted name, so I decided to try it out. I'm extremely glad I did so. The LCR has become a trusted companion in daily life. Thanks for watching.